All right, welcome to Monday Night Accessory. Here is our workout for today. We have some half kneeling Arnold press, some Cossack Squats, side plank lifts. We have Piston Row, Single Leg RDL, weighted straight leg sit-ups, IYTs. We haven't done those in a while. Frog glute bridge, and then some dead bugs as well. So for our equipment today, you will need a set of dumbbells, and if you have some lighter weights, like some smaller plates or some canned goods, we'll need those for your IYTs today. So we are going to go ahead and get started with our dumbbells. You will just need one dumbbell for this first series, and we're going to start with a half kneeling. So we're going to be in this half kneeling position. Make sure this back toe is tucked under. We'll give you a little bit more support. Okay, whichever leg is on top, we're going to go opposite hand with the dumbbell. Remember, on our Arnold press, the palm is facing the body to start, and then we're pressing out, around, and up. Okay, on the way down, I just want you to go nice and controlled. So go quick on the way up, and then slow on the way back to that front rack. Okay. And on this one, we're going to do 8 reps on each side. So if you are ready with your dumbbell, we'll go ahead and come down into our half kneeling position, and we'll get started with our Arnold press. So again, 8 reps on each side, fast on the way up, and then nice and slow back to that front rack. Really stabilizing with the core, squeezing the abs nice and tight, resisting that weight on the way back down. Reps on one side, and then we will switch our legs and also switch our hand. And we're going to do the same thing, nice and stable. That dumbbell is coming out and around, and then nice and slow on the way back down. Same thing, out and around with that weight. Nice and slow on the way down. All right, finish 8 on each side. We're going to go into Cossack Squats. So this one is going to be essentially a lateral lunge, but we're going to stay in our wide stance. You can do this one with or without weight. If you want to hold some weight, we'll just hold it down in the middle. What we're going to do on this one is we're going to push our hips back and push that knee out and come into the bottom of that lunge position. We're going to go ahead and stand back up. And you're going to switch to the other side, same thing, and then we'll go ahead and stand back up. If we can on this one, we're going to go 8 each side. I want you to get a 1-second pause, active pause, at that bottom position. So we'll go nice and controlled on the way out. We're going to pause and then press back up. And again, we're going 8 on each side. You can alternate on these. Make sure that that foot is staying flat on the ground. So we're really focused on pushing the hips back as we come into that lunge. 8 on each side. And you can do this with or without weight. Slight pause at the bottom. Make sure that foot is staying flat. All right. Once you get 8 each side, Shake out those legs a little bit. We're going to go into a side plank hip lift. We're going to do on this one, we're coming down onto our elbow. If you can, I want you to try to stack your feet one on top of the other. Otherwise, that top leg will go in front. And from here, we're going to get a nice straight line. We're going to raise our hips up. And then we're softly going to touch the hip to the ground. Get a little pause at the top. You're going to go ahead and get in 10 reps on each side. So good control here. Pause, soft touch, right back up. Try to keep those hips square, shoulders square. That slight pause at the top. 10 reps on each side. Get 10 each side. We'll come back to our half kneeling position. Go into our second round, starting with our half kneeling Arnold press. And we're doing 8 on each side. Finding that nice stability through the core here. The palm starts facing the body, coming out, around, up, and then slow on the way down. Resisting that weight on the way down. 8 on one side, we'll go ahead and switch to the other side. Again, once we finish out our Arnold press, go back into that nice wide stance here. Again, you can do this with or without weight. We're pushing the hip back. Get a nice little pause here for a second. Press back up, and then we'll switch to the other side. We want 8 on each leg. Pushing that hip back on the way down. And that foot flat on the ground. Good. So get 8 each side. Back down to the ground for our hip lifts. This will be our side plank hip lifts. And you can stack or stagger your feet. Now 1 second pause at the top. Soft touch with that hip at the bottom. 10 on each side. Push out 10 each side. Give yourself a little break here. We're going to go back to our half kneeling Arnold press. We're going to go through one more round. And we'll move on to our next series. Again, we have our split stance here, half kneeling stance. Keeping that core nice and tight. Out, around, and up, and then slow on the way down. 8 reps each side. Get lead on one side, we'll switch to the other side. Same thing, nice tight core. Slow on the way down. All right, 8 on each side. Your shoulders a little break here. We go back for our next set of Cossack squats. In wide stance, chest stays tall, pushing the hip back, pushing the knee out. Slight pause, come back up. 8 reps each direction. Turn that toe out just a little bit. I'll help push that knee out as well. Eight each side. All right, finish out there. Back down to the ground for our side plank hip lifts. Be our last set. Remember, we're on 10 on each side. And that slight pause at the top of each rep. Switch to the other side. Get 10 on the other side. All right, let's finish out. So grab a quick drink. Get a little rest here before we move on to our next series. For our next round, you will need 2 dumbbells for this one. So we're going to start with a piston row, which means both dumbbells are going to move at the same time. So our position that we're going to be in is just like our RDL, where our torso is facing the ground, this part of our back's nice and flat. We're gonna start with one dumbbell up. We're slowly gonna switch at the same time. And we're gonna go back and forth. I want you to think about 2 seconds each direction. And we're gonna go 8 reps on each side. When we're pulling that dumbbell up, I want you to think about pulling the shoulder back as we pull that dumbbell to the rib cage. Okay? Try not to curl into the dumbbell. I want you to squeeze up and back. So again, we'll have one starting at the top, one starting at the bottom. With control, we're just gonna switch until we get 8 reps on each side. Nice and slow, down and up. Once you get 8 each side, we're just gonna hold on to one dumbbell, and we're gonna go into our single leg Romanian deadlift. Guys, so this one's gonna require a little bit of balance. You can do with or without weight. You're working on your balance on this one. So if I'm starting with my left foot on the ground, dumbbell is gonna be in my right hand. I'm gonna point my toe towards my shin with my right foot. This leg's gonna stay straight, and I'm just gonna hinge over. Back stays flat, hips are square until I feel a good stretch in this hamstring, and then I'm gonna go ahead and stand back up. If you need to, you can hold the dumbbell in both hands. I'll give you a little bit more balance and stability here. Just want you to go as low as you feel comfortable so you get that nice stretch in the hamstring. This one, same thing. We're gonna do 8 each side. I want you to go slow on the way down, and then think about 1 second on the way back to the top. So nice and slow, find that balance. Feel that good stretch, and then we'll stand. Feel this in the hamstring, high hamstring and glute on that bottom leg. Get a little rest in between sides if you need to. And keeping that good balance and stability. You might have one leg that's a little bit better than the other. That leg that's coming up, we want to try to keep a straight line from the heel all the way to the shoulder. All right, 8 reps on that one. And from there, we come on down to the ground. So you're going to hold on to a weight, whatever weight you want to use, a ball, a dumbbell. And we're going to do a straight leg weighted sit-up. So we're going to have our legs extended out. We're going to have our torso on the ground. You start with this dumbbell up over the chest. As we come up, you can raise the dumbbell up overhead. Get a nice little finish in a nice tall position here. We'll come back down to the ground. We're going to do 10 of these. Do a nice big push up at the top. If you can, I want you to try to keep your heels in contact with the ground on these sit-ups. So as we raise up off the ground, we're keeping our heels on the floor. Just 10 reps on those. Right, to finish out with our sit-ups, we're going to come back to our standing position. And we're going to go right back into our piston rows. So we got a dumbbell in each hand. Again, that torso facing the ground, a little tension in the hamstrings. One dumbbell starts up slowly. We're going to switch 8 reps on each side. About pulling that shoulder back on the way up. Finish out there. We'll set one dumbbell down. Go back into our single leg RDL. We're holding on to our weight. Let that leg come back. Slight bend in our bottom foot. Keeping our torso nice straight line here. A good stretch down the back of the leg. 8 reps. Nice and controlled on the way down. Get a little bit of rest between sides if you need it. And keeping that good balance. Slow on the way down. Feel that stretch in the hamstring. Good. 8 reps on each side. Back down to the ground. Go right back into our weighted sit-ups. We're going to go ahead and get in 10 reps here. Big press up overhead at the top. Keeping those heels on the ground. Finish out our 10. We'll go ahead and get a little bit of rest. We're going to do one more time through. And we're going to start with our piston rows. One dumbbell in each hand. Again, nice and controlled each direction. Going 8 on each side. Back stays nice and flat here. 8 each side, get a little bit of rest. One more set on our single leg RDLs. And same thing, 8 on each side. Remember, nice and slow on the way down. Make sure we're keeping those hips square and a nice stretch in the hamstring. Eight reps on each side. Keeping that good balance. Nice and stable through that bottom leg. Get 8 each side. Then transition back to our weighted sit-ups. Again, we're going to go 10 reps here. On this one, keeping our heels down. Big press up at the top. All right, let's take a little bit of rest here. We are done with our big dumbbells. Again, if you have a set of small plates, we are going to do some IYT, so either plates or canned goods or something like that. If not, you can still just do on body weight. You'll still get a nice little burn in those shoulders. So switch out our dumbbells for some lighter weights. We're going to start this series with an IYT. We're going to do 8 each direction. So on this one, show you without the weights, we're going to get our torso to face the ground. Thumbs are going to be up, coming straight up overhead into an I, this position here. We'll come out into a Y, and then we're going to come out to the side into a T. So I want you to try to keep your thumbs up, all 3 positions. Torso is facing the ground the whole time. We're just getting a nice big squeeze on the way up. 8 each direction, I, Y, and T. Again, you can do with light weights or no weight. That's up to you depending on how your shoulders feel today. When you're ready, we'll go ahead and get started. each way. We'll go ahead and set our plates down. And we'll come on down to the ground. Our next one is going to be a frog glute bridge. So what we're going to do on this one is, if you've ever done that groin stretch before where you have your feet together, we're going to pull your feet together in this position. I'm going to lay on my back, and I'm going to bridge my hips up as high as I can in this wide position with my legs. I'm going to pause for 2 seconds at the top, and then I'm slowly going to come back to the ground. We're going to do 10 reps on this one as well. All right? So we get set up with our feet together. We're going to squeeze up, hold for 2 seconds, and then slowly come back to the ground. We're going to get 10 reps here when you're ready. A nice big squeeze at the top, slow on the way down. Once you get 10 of those, we're going to stay on the ground. We're going to go right into a dead bug. We're going to do 10 on each side, but I want you to move at a nice controlled pace. So on our dead bugs, we're going to crunch into our tuck position. Hands are straight up in the air. Legs are about 90 degrees. I'm going to extend opposite arm, opposite leg. I'll come back to the middle, and then I'm going to switch to the other side. In this position, I want you to concentrate on keeping this tuck position the whole time, especially as we're extending our arm and leg out. All right? Go on 10 each direction. When you're ready, go ahead and get started. All right, 10 each side on our dead bugs. That's one round down. We'll hop back up. We're going to go back into our IYT. Again, we're going 8 each direction on this. This will be round 2. So a nice slight bend in the knees here. Torso's facing the ground. We're going I, Y, and T. Thumbs up each direction. All right, got 8 each way. We'll set down our weights. Coming back down to the ground. And we're going to get our feet together. That nice tight groin stretch. We're going to go right into our frog glute bridge. 10 reps. And we're going to get that 2-second pause at the top and slow on the way down. Nice big squeeze here. Those hips up high. Right, 10 reps. We get a little rest here. We're going to 10 each side on our dead bugs. So a nice crunch position. Good control, extending out opposite arm, opposite leg. Keeping that nice tuck position, low back pressed into the floor. And finishing out round 2. Take a second to catch your breath. We'll hop back up. We're going to get one more round. And we'll get started with our IYTs. Again, good control on these. Make sure those thumbs are up. Make sure that torso stays facing towards the ground here. So 8 reps each way. IY and T. Nice big squeeze of those shoulders. Good. 8 each direction. Set our weights down. Come on back down to the ground. Give me that frog glute bridge next. Going for 10 reps. Nice big squeeze. 2-second pause at the top. Hips up nice and high here. Good. 10 reps. And when you're ready, we'll go right into our dead bugs. Our last set of 10. We're keeping that good crunch position here as we extend. Opposite arm, opposite leg. All right, 10 each side. And that concludes our accessory workout.